Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
I completely, and I mean completely, reject the thinking that there's something called the political season, and that once you enter that season, leaders can make any statements, whether the statements are foolish, whether the statements violate the national constitution, whether the statements promote chaos and so on. It's okay. It's a political season. I reject that. Our leaders must at all times make statements that are edifying, statements that give us hope, statements which does not destroy our collective search for prosperity. At all times, political season, and even the political season is the most important, because then we are galvanizing people to make choices. And if at the point where we are galvanizing people to make choices, you make irresponsible statements and so on, it to a very large extent destroys the foundations of our politics. So I don't accept that. I mean, I can never accept that. Now, we are talking about legacies also here, and yeah, my friends in the New Patriotic Party like to talk about the legacy they are leaving in the educational sector. I'm one person who does not believe that nothing has happened to the educational sector. A lot of things have happened in the educational sector, and I've said so publicly, okay? But even what has happened in the educational sector is a build-up on something that you met in power. As I recall, 2007, 2008, the situation with schools, even in the Greater Accra region, was horrible.
Especially with the 4-year.
Exactly, schools under trees, the shift system, and so on. It took the intervention of the Mills administration to alter that. Now, if you had met that situation, you could not have made the progress that is claimed that has been made in education today. So that legacy is, strictly speaking, not a legacy of the NPP. If the NPP is going to claim that legacy, it has to share it with the Mills administration, which did a lot, first and foremost, to abolish the shift system and to remove so many schools under trees and so on, to introduce innovative ideas, like school uniforms and so on, so many things. Okay. So that's what I say. I mean, you're talking about hospitals. And when I hear them talk about hospitals, it's as if the whole health infrastructure had collapsed. It's not true. Look at the Greater Accra region, the improvements that came, in healthcare delivery, the regional hospital, and many other things, you understand. You look at the bank hospital, you look at so many projects. I'm not going to list all of them.
But not on the scale of the Agenda 111.
But Agenda 111 is just something that has been initiated. To be honest, as we speak today, Agenda 111 is not contributing anything to our healthcare delivery.
That's what I said.
As we speak.
As we speak, yes, I agree.
So in the last,
the long term,
in the last 7.5 years, our healthcare system is running on what existed.
I agree. Yes. But as part of his legacies, it will form part of his legacy. Going into the future. Obviously, they're all at different stages of completion, but assuming they were even finished in 2026, you would have 111 or more new health facilities.
That is if we are able to, because the president himself told us that he was going to complete all of that in, was it 18 months?
That's why I said, even if it's beyond 2025 and it's 2026, it will still form part of his legacy. So for me, I see that it was a large investment in health that we had not done in a very long time.
It's not an investment, it's an idea.
It's an investment.
It's an idea. GOG funded, as and when we're putting something in it, whoever takes over would have the responsibility of looking for the resources to do all those things. So if it's about, somebody can just get up and say, I want to build 1,000 factories in Ghana, and then start something. And subsequent governments come and finish it, and it says that I left a legacy of 1,000 factories for the Republic of Ghana.
But Agenda 111 has gone very far. I mean, if I don't have the figures with me here, but I know that a lot of them are more than 50% complete. A lot of them.
No problem.
But you see, I mean, right now, as we sit here, we have a huge problem in actualizing dreams. Because we've run bankrupt. We don't have money for anything.
That's right.
You understand?
You've dug a trench with $400 million.
Exactly. So that bankruptcy itself is a block in the way of realizing dreams and so on. So for me, the most critical issue is the health of the national economy.
Yeah.
Because if the health of the national economy is not good, you can't build your agenda 1-1-1 or your agenda 10-10-10 or 20-20-20. You understand? So the health of the national economy is the most crucial matter. And nobody today can argue that the health of the national economy has improved. I mean, I left this country about 6 days ago. At the time I was leaving, the city was hovering around 14.10. In 6 days, it hits 15 cedis to $1. You understand? That's the health of the national economy. You are looking at businesses which are closing down.
At a time when we are not servicing our external debt.
Exactly. You are looking at businesses which have closed down. And you are not talking about a pampam store operators closing down. Major.
We probably don't have that data.
You know, when it comes to the health of the economy, I agree with you that we have difficulties. Structurally, as a state, in fact, we have not moved beyond what was left us in 1920. If you look at the Asian economy.
We tried to move, and we moved substantially.
We tried.
Except that in 1966,
it was
a group of anti-Nkrumah elements and politicians came and just decided to behave like bulls in the China South. Just dismantled everything, wrecked this country completely, brought us on our knees.
We can debate whether the coups were the major factor that caused the collapse of all those industries that Uncle Kwasi is trying to allude to. However, some of these industries were already on their knees before the coup came. And all that coup period.
So, just take notes. Let's hear Kwasi.
Okay.
Let's take notes.
Well, I wanted him to finish talking because then, already, I mean, we are running into problems with definitions and so on. The claim that these industries were distressed, it's not true. Because those elements who overthrew Nkrumah and came to power later and appear to be in power today, we're looking at monetary profit, the accumulation of monetary profit, to make their judgments. But you and I know that social profit is also generated.
Sure, with industry.
And in many instances, the generation of social profit conflicts with the generation of monetary profit. It conflicts in many instances. So we need to ask the fundamental question, what were those industries when it comes to determining who takes over from him? That is the preserve of the people of Ghana. So when he comes and makes statements like, I will not hand over to so and so and so and so on, it's not just offensive, but it amounts to instigating an insurrection. Clear instigation of insurrection. You understand? What if the people of Ghana disagree with the president? And he's only one out of 32 million people. So if the people of Ghana disagree with him and vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is he to say, I'm going to hand over, I'm not going to hand over? It does not lie in his mouth.
He's only expressing his wish that he wants to hand over to his running.
That's not an expression of wish. When you say that I will not hand over to so and so, it's not an expression of wish.
But is that what he said?
Yes, read it again. You just read.
So what he said was that he cannot take over from him.
What does that mean? You haven't improved the situation. You understand? So it does not lie in the mouth of the president.
He says, quote, I cannot hand over power to such a person.
Yeah.
He said, the person I defeated and my work since I took over seems not to please him. I cannot hand over to such a person. He would destroy whatever we have done when he comes.
Yeah. So it's clear. Okay. Now, listen, if presidents before His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo were to talk and act in the manner that he is, he would never have been president. Because he was even defeated in the primary. He was defeated in the primary by President Kufuor. So if President Kufuor had said that I would never hand over to somebody I defeated in the primary, would he have been president? He had been defeated. He had been defeated in general elections, and so where is this statement coming from? Now, what surprises me is that these statements have been made. They've hit the public domain, and it's obvious that the vast majority of commentators are uncomfortable with the statement. Now, even though you have not condemned the statements, from the way you are going about, trying to find justification, so it's obvious that if cameras were not on you, you would have said something different. You understand? Now, here is the problem, Randy. How come that those close to him are not drawing his attention to the fact that he's doing a lot of damage to himself, his legacy, and the ambitions of his vice president?
They don't agree with you.
Pardon?
They don't agree with you.
Oh, Randy.
That's the only reason.
No, Randy, please. Randy, you know this town. I know that you know people in government and outside government.
Yes.
I know that you engage in conversations and so on.
Yes.
What you are saying, is it the true situation? No, Randy, just
Kwasi, you see,
because the people I talk to are the same people that you talk to. And you talk to even more people than I talk to.
There are three scenarios.
Yes.
There are three scenarios.
Yes.
There are those who disagree with the position you hold and believe in the president's position.
That the president has power to prevent a president, the people of Ghana
they think that there's nothing wrong with the president saying what he said the way he said it. They don't see anything wrong. That's one.
Which will translate into the president.
That's one.
Can prevent somebody from taking office. That's one. Even if the people vote for him.
Because that's one. Then two.
They will not translate into that.
There are those who are dishonest and sycophantic.
Yeah.
And then three is the dangerous one. Those who have become delusional.
Don't you think?
So I don't know which of the three you're dealing with at every point in time. Whether it is those who genuinely believe that yes, that is the way to go, they disagree with you, even if they are wrong, or they are plain dishonest and sycophantic, or they become delusional.
Randy, first of all, if you have a government, and in this case a president, who is surrounded by delusional people who are in extreme danger. If our president is surrounded by delusional people, my goodness, our problems are only going to get worse. That's number one. If our president is surrounded by sycophantic elements who ignore the facts, we are heading into the ditch straight away. And the third category of people who genuinely believe that a president can subvert the will of the people, that also leads us into the same trench, the same danger. And I'll be surprised if President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, given his years of experience and practice in politics, from the days when he was a member of the Convention People's Party to today when he has repudiated his past and so on, you understand? If these are the three categories of people around him, my goodness, I don't know what to say.
Okay, because I
don't know what to say.
I guess both of you speak far better, or understand tree far better than I do. Okay. That's why I find that my mother is Fanti. My Fanti is not good. There's a saying, and correct me if I don't get it right. They say, I'm not a Bob Busiano, and you're not a Editia. Not so.
Yes. I know that proverb.
Okay.
I know that proverb very well. Okay. But that proverb is problematic. That proverb...
Well, maybe it's only explaining, that proverb is only explaining a situation or fortifying a reality.
Yeah, but I don't think that we should be throwing about proverbs which explain or fortify dishonesty.
Yeah.
Because that problem really is describing situations of dishonesty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there are many other problems.
That you go begging
with a different tongue.
Yeah.
You go and you're begging, you are pleading and all that.
Yeah.
And then after you've had it, you now begin to wear an emperor's robe and act like an emperor who surveys all and speak in that manner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope you understand.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Yes.
And there are many other proverbs which are problematic. For example, this proverb which says that if you are looking for power, you can sell your mother to get the power. And that after you've got the power, you can accumulate enough
to go and take back your mother.
To go and take back your mother. That's a big, useless problem. It's a problem that does not drive the national development effort. It's a problem that does not, promote values which can move us forward and so on. So I reject those proverbs completely. There's even a more horrifying one. I'm sure you would understand. Bronyani John.
Yes, I understand.
Bronyani John.
It's like
and I ever say this.
Yes.
And I cringe. You understand? Yeah. So a lot of these proverbs, some of them really are not proverbs we should be repeating in the public space because they don't help us in any way. But I think the president needs to be reminded, perhaps in the strongest possible terms, that the subversion of the will of the people comes down to a subversion of the national constitution.
Yeah, has consequences.
And the penalty for that is not something that I want to repeat on air. The penalty for subverting the constitution, for subverting the will of the people, is something that I cannot say. But everybody knows what it is. It's the severest punishment you can get in the world. The most severe punishment you can get in the world is for subverting the will of the people. In any case, subverting the will of the people is possible only if the people allow you to subvert their will. If the people of this country decide that nobody will be allowed to subvert their will, nobody can subvert their will. And I think the politicians should be very careful. My advice to His Excellency the President is that I think he should go easy. And he's made this statement 3 times. I've heard him make this statement 3 times. They're dangerous statements. These are not statements expected from a democratic ruler. These are not statements expected from somebody with the slightest, familiarity with law. And I'm choosing my words so very carefully. These are horrible statements. These are subversive statements. And in any case, these are not statements that anybody can live up to in Ghana today. The president himself was part of the Kumipreku demonstration. He knows the power of the people. You understand? He was part of the Kumipreku demonstration. He knows the power of the people. Indeed, in 1979 or thereabout, he joined Kobna Gbedema, Edubu Ahene, Johnny Hansen and others to organize the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice. And he knew the consequences. It was as a result of that mobilization that June 4th eventually emerged. And the consequences of June 4th, all of us lived with it. So I would plead with the president, in his own interest, not in my interest, in his own interest, to stop making such statements. Such obviously, clearly subversive statements are not in his interest, they are not in the national interest, and they cannot be in the interest of the New Patriotic Party. And especially they will not promote the fortunes of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. If I were Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I would walk to his office and say, please, you are harming me, stop making these statements. You understand?
Thank you, Kwasi.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.